History's most powerful people imagine controlling the lives of 100 million people with a single decision. Imagine owning more wealth than entire continents combined. Today's billionaires and presidents look like children compared to history's true titans of power. I'm about to reveal 5 individuals whose influence was so vast that they literally shaped the genetic makeup of humanity itself. Number 3 on this list controlled more territory than Russia, USA, and China combined. And you've probably never heard their real story. Main content: the wealth emperor, Mansa Musa, the golden giant of Mali. Forget Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Their pocket change compared to Mansa Musa of Mali. When this 14th century African emperor went on pilgrimage to Mecca, Indiana, 1324, he carried so much gold that he crashed the entire Mediterranean economy for a decade. Musa controlled the world's largest gold and salt mines, making his empire the economic center of the known world. His wealth was so legendary that European maps began showing Africa as a continent ruled by a king holding a massive gold nugget. Here's the mind-blowing part. Musa's caravan to Mecca included 60,000 people and 12,000 slaves, each carrying 4 pounds of gold. He built universities and libraries that made Timbuktu the Harvard of the medieval world. While Europe was stuck in the Dark Ages, Musa was financing global trade networks that connected 3 continents. Economists estimate Musa's wealth at over 400 billion in today's money, making him the richest human being who ever lived. His empire controlled trade routes that modern nations still fight over today. The population sculptor, Genghis Khan. The genetic conqueror Genghis Khan didn't just conquer territories. He literally rewrote human DNA. Genetic studies reveal that 16 million men alive today are direct descendants of the Great Khan, meaning his bloodline flows through 0.5 of all males on Earth. His Mongol empire stretched from Eastern Europe to the Pacific Ocean, covering 24 million square kilometers, the largest contiguous land empire in history. To put this in perspective, the entire Roman Empire would fit into just 1/5 of Genghis Khan's domain. But here's what makes him truly unique. Khan created the first global communication system through the Silk Road. His postal relay system could deliver messages across continents faster than anything that existed until the telegraph. He essentially created the world's first internet. The shocking truth is that Genghis Khan killed approximately 11 of the world's entire population. His conquests were so devastating that they actually reduced global carbon dioxide levels by allowing forests to regrow on abandoned farmland. One man's military campaigns literally changed Earth's climate. The knowledge destroyer, Caliph Al-Mutawakkil. The library burner. While most people know about the Library of Alexandria, almost no one knows about Al-Mutawakkil, the 9th century Abbasid caliph who controlled more knowledge than Google does today. Al-Mutawakkil ruled the Islamic Golden Age when Baghdad's House of Wisdom contained the collected knowledge of ancient Greece, Persia, India, and China. His libraries held millions of manuscripts covering mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy, essentially the internet of the medieval world. Here's the terrifying part. Al-Mutawakkil became a religious extremist and ordered the systematic destruction of heretical books. His campaigns wiped out thousands of years of accumulated human knowledge. Scientific treatises, medical texts, and philosophical works that could have advanced civilization by centuries were burned to ashes. The power Al-Mutawakkil wielded was the ability to erase human progress itself. Modern historians believe his destruction of knowledge set back global scientific advancement by 500 years. No modern tech CEO has ever possessed the power to literally delete human civilization's accumulated wisdom. The Ocean Emperor, Zheng He, the forgotten admiral 70 years before Columbus stumbled onto America. A Chinese Muslim admiral named Zheng He was commanding fleets that made European expeditions look like fishing trips. He controlled the world's oceans during China's Ming Dynasty. Zheng He's treasure ships were over 400 feet long, larger than Columbus's entire fleet combined. He commanded expeditions of up to 300 ships carrying 30,000 crew members, including soldiers, merchants, doctors, and interpreters. His 7 major voyages reached Indonesia, India, the Persian Gulf, Arabia, and the eastern coast of Africa. He established Chinese naval bases from Malaysia to Somalia, creating the world's first truly global maritime empire. Here's the historical tragedy. If China's emperor hadn't suddenly canceled Zheng He's expeditions, Chinese fleets would have discovered Europe and America decades before European explorers set sail. Zheng He had the power to make China the world's first global colonial empire, but political changes in Beijing ended his dominance. His forgotten story proves that history's most powerful people often remain invisible to Western education systems. The human resource manager, Cyrus the Great. The tolerance emperor Cyrus the Great of Persia invented concepts that modern world leaders still struggle with: human rights, religious tolerance, and multicultural governance. His Persian Empire was the largest the ancient world had ever seen, stretching from India to Greece. What made Cyrus revolutionary wasn't just his military success. It was his administrative genius. Instead of destroying conquered peoples, he allowed them to keep their languages, religions, and customs. He created the world's first charter of human rights, carved into the famous Cyrus Cylinder. Cyrus freed the Jews from Babylonian captivity and funded the rebuilding of their temple in Jerusalem. He liberated enslaved populations across his empire and established religious freedom as a core principle of governance. His power lay not just in conquest, but in creating loyalty through justice. While other ancient rulers controlled through fear, Cyrus controlled through respect. His administrative systems were so effective that they influenced Roman, Islamic, and even modern democratic governance structures. The Persian Empire under Cyrus controlled 44 of the world's population, a percentage no modern leader has ever approached. He managed diversity on a scale that makes today's multinational corporations look simple. The Papal Dictator, Pope Innocent III, the sole controller during the High Middle Ages. Pope Innocent III wielded power that modern religious leaders can only dream of. He didn't just control spiritual matters. He literally controlled kings and emperors. Innocent III excommunicated the King of England and placed the entire country under interdict, meaning no Christian services could be performed anywhere in the kingdom. No weddings, no funerals, no baptisms. He held an entire nation's spiritual life hostage until King John submitted to papal authority. He launched the Fourth Crusade, which ended up conquering Constantinople and reshaping the balance of power between Christianity and Islam. He also initiated the Albigensian Crusade, which wiped out entire populations in southern France. Here's the ultimate power move. Innocent III controlled the salvation of every Christian soul in Europe. In an age when people believed eternal damnation was worse than death, he held the keys to heaven and hell for millions of people. His influence extended into marriage, inheritance, trade, and war. No modern religious figure has ever controlled both the temporal and spiritual lives of entire continents. Conclusion: these historical giants wielded forms of power that simply don't exist in today's world. They controlled entire continents, shaped human genetics, destroyed knowledge, commanded oceans, managed multicultural empires, and controlled souls. Modern powerful people operate within systems of checks and balances. These historical figures were the systems themselves. They didn't just influence their times. They created the foundations upon which our modern world was built. The terrifying and fascinating truth is that individual human beings once possessed godlike power over millions of other humans. Understanding their stories helps us appreciate both the progress and limitations of our current world. Call to action if this video opened your eyes to history's true power holders. Smash that like button and subscribe for more hidden historical revelations. Here's my question for you. Which of these historical powerhouses do you think wielded the most terrifying form of control? Was it Genghis Khan's genetic dominance, Al-Mutawakkil's knowledge destruction, or Pope Innocent II's soul control? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Hit the bell icon because next week I'm revealing the secret bloodlines that still control global politics today.